Thank you again for joining today on a new subject, something basically that every one of us on a daily basis have to deal with and continuously try to look for ways to enhance that. What can I do to make it even better? And this subject is called How to Inspire Creativity basically in your own business. How do we get it so that people who work for us, people who are interesting in our work, people who are in our team, become creative? How do they, become people that can actually think beyond the box? Not outside the box, but actually beyond the box. And what do they do for that? How do they communicate this to you? Interestingly enough, how to inspire creativity within business is not an easy thing to do. Because you have typically a leader, an owner, we'll call in this case the doctor, the one who's in charge in the clinic. And then you have the team. Sometimes you'll often have also a manager. And at the times you'll have maybe even a family member that's part of the team. All of those things can hamper the situation and can make changes or somewhat bring fear into this creativity mode that someone would want to share with. For innovation to flourish, and you must mark my word on that, this is very, very important to remember that. For innovation to flourish, you have to know. And for it to flourish within a team, it is imperative, I say it clearly, that the work environment fosters on a day-to-day basis something which is called a creative of the creation of a process called the culture of permission. What is this culture of permission? What does it mean? It just means that you're allowing everyone to share ideas without any fear of ridicule or judgment. You see, it's a culture because it's something new to most of us. We often feel, I have my ideas. I'll tell you what I think. But we don't let others think outside that box to give us their impression. Or if we do, we want it to be within our limits. You see, by not nurturing that they bring to the team, you're actually punishing yourself. You're taking away from yourself the things that could be so monumentally successful in your business. And so it has to be done as a culture, and it's a culture of permission. I permit this to happen at any given time. And not only that, I allow not just me, not just you, not just him, not just her, everyone in the team to share ideas. And I promise you, and I will hold to that promise, not just words, I will actually do it, that all of this will be shared without fear of any type of ridicule or judgment. See, the best one of this, you may or may not know this, you may not have ever heard of this, is Thomas Edison. Now everyone knows about Edison and the light bulb. That's what we hear. We hear Thomas Edison, right away we think electricity. There's something much, much greater to Thomas Edison, besides the light bulb. I mean, it's true. He did create the light bulb. He also created the phonograph, which many people forget. He also created motion picture, which is amazing. This man was the greatest genius and the greatest invention that he had put together. And some of those were all by him. But you know what his greatest invention was? It was the process of something called systematic innovation. And you know what that means? That means that he created the world's first research development lab. And he was literally the first one to link R&D with the production, manufacturing, and sales all together. It's amazing. If you think about that, he wanted everyone to be involved in his project. It often says, as a matter of fact, that when you spoke to Thomas Edison, at any given time, he would not only hear your ideas, but he would also criticize it, and then combine it in his own conversation, go back and forth, take it, turn it around, but then go right back to you and say, now what do you think about that? And he would allow, as I call it, this democracy of ideas, go back and forth and fighting back and forth until it emerged with a new system, with a new idea, called systematic innovation of this development. Thomas Edison was an amazing person because of that, and that's what he created. See, as it says, creativity, interestingly enough, is not the sole exclusive property of those actually who deemed or dreamt to be creative. It is the process by which each and every one of us shares those ideas and brings them to fruition, to one focal concept at the end of the day. Beyond the box, not above the box, outside the box, beyond the box of thinking is where we need to be. Once you do that, and the person thinking beyond the box, you can bolster by reaching out to a larger pool of talents from all the people that are around you and create even more ideas. Creativity is something which in my office is probably the most primary success in my life. Every single day that my office meets, and we have these meetings quite often to continuously bolster ideas and come up with new concepts. I let them know of my strengths and my weaknesses right at the very beginning of every meeting. I say, okay, you know I can't do this, you know I can do that. You know I'm not good at this, but I'm good at this. Now, let's go around and define again where we're at today in our strength. And one person may just get up and say, by the way, I think I'm much better at this now. I'll give you an example, for instance. Let's talk about, again, something practical for your office. You're having an office meeting, and now we're trying to develop a new process. Let's talk about the fact that patients are coming in, being welcomed by the secretary, the staff, the receptionist up front, and then patients going through. Now, I want to make sure that this patient continuously feels a commitment to their care. So my end purpose as the clinic director, as the owner, as the doctor in the clinic, is to get my patients to be continuously motivated to their health care, which indeed will enhance their scheduling, which will improve, of course, their lives, which will keep them committed to come on a regular basis to my treatment, which will make them follow through the treatment protocol which has been given to them, and will help bolster this information in their mind so that they continuously find a way to refer other people. So everybody benefits from that. So I want them to be committed to their health care. So now, I come to the meeting and I say, listen, staff, what can I do? What can we do? How can we all work it out so that our patients are continuously committed to the health care? Now I'm just telling you that you ask that question around your patients. About your staff at that moment. And every one of them is going to look at you saying, now what has he drank last night? What seems to be the problem today? What are we going to hear next? He's asking us how to commit the patients. He is the doctor. They're the ones with the sickness. What's that got to do with us? You see, the problem in this case is because your staff has not been given the opportunity to systematically innovate their mind into a team effort. If that's the answer that you get when you come up with that meeting, if that's what you hear around your office, your staff has the fear of ridicule or judgment by either you, the doctor, the manager, or someone in the team. And they're not free to think. This culture that we're speaking about the culture of permission, doesn't exist in your office. You must nurture that. You have to let them know and believe that at any time they can come up with ideas. It doesn't mean that their idea will be taken. It doesn't mean that their idea will be primary implemented. It doesn't mean at all that they will get a promotion. It just means that I want them to express their ideas because a pool of all those greatest inventions that put together will make me another Thomas Edison. Not at the same level, possibly. I may not come up with this light bulb. I may not reinvent the phonograph. I may not come up with something that is greater or bigger or even more ingenious than the motion pictures. but at least at my level, in my office, in my time, in my meeting, right now, I will get the ideas pulled together, and as a team, we will get a better commitment from each other. And on top of it, you'll feel confident that when you say something, I'll listen, and when I say something, you'll listen. And we'll be able to work together. Now, how do we get this commitment together? First, culture of permission. Allow for your team member and your staff member to come up with ideas. Now, I don't know what each and every one of the offices need on a day-to-day basis. I do know, however, that the team has to work together. I am convinced that each and every one of you must have on a regular basis this powwow, this meeting of mind where everybody comes together and shares this concept. I do know that this is called, in this case, democracy. Democracy of ideas, where all these ideas are truly shared. That's what you want. That is so important. You know, one of the most beautiful things about the United States of America, and as you know, and many of you know that, I was not born in this country. I came in when I was in high school, but I've been here all these years. I am proud to be a citizen of a country that allows for each and every one of its citizens to come up with ideas regularly, continuously, and demands from each and every one of us to grow and successfully develop new concepts. It's interesting. You look at some countries, and in a couple hundred years, nothing has changed. Everything is pretty much in the same place. Even a period of time could go by, and more people have come by, but nothing changes. If you look at the development and the technology and the amazing, amazing protocols that have existed in this country, and that are continuously developing day to day, it's amazing what can happen. The fundamental United States of America, the fundamental concept of the United States of America is to allow everyone to successfully foster, not only within themselves, but for everyone, the innovation to flourish and come up with their ideas. Allowing everyone to share those ideas. That's the culture of permission. That's what is referred to as systematic innovation. That's what it means. So I encourage each and every one of you to develop in your office this type of permissive type of behavior so that everyone can share. I can guarantee you that if you were to do this on a week-to-week basis and allow everyone to share, again, as I said, without the fear of ridicule or judgment, and take those ideas and nurture them together, you will find that you have a phenomenal team. You will find that there are so many good ideas that your staff members have. You will find that each and every one of the people around you has so much to offer. If they could just share it, if they could just say it, if we could just use it and put it into place. May God bless you and bless each and every one of us to have a successful relationship with our team members and being able to develop an office environment whereby not only we can share our ideas, but take this concept to a higher level for the enhancement and better health to each and every one of the patients that we treat, those that we love so much, and those that are around you. God bless you, and may you be successful in this endeavor. Thank you very much.